And we are coming up on some big elections here in New York State. And tonight, we have our eyes on the governor's race in the month of November. Governor Kathy Hochul's challenger, Republican gubernatorial candidate Bruce Blakeman, was here in Amherst today to open up his new Western New York campaign headquarters. But before that, Doing Side's Nate Benson sat down with the GOP's pick for governor to hear how he wants to address several issues facing New Yorkers. Nate is live in downtown Buffalo for us tonight with the latest. Hello, Nate.
Yeah, good evening, Scott. I only had a short window to speak with Republican gubernatorial candidate Bruce Blakeman earlier today, so buckle up. We have a few quick hits here in finding out how he stands on some of these important issues in November. For those voters here in Western New York who might not be familiar with you, and this isn't a psychological question, but quick 30 seconds, who is Bruce Blakeman?
So I've been a bartender, a busboy, a janitor. I worked on the back of a garbage truck, lawyer, councilman, legislator, county executive, and now my job is to run for governor and become governor and make life better for people in Western New York, make it more affordable and make it safer, cut taxes, cut utility rates in half, and hire more cops and create safer communities.
One of the things you've promised day one is to be able to cut those utility costs and things of that nature. How does a governor do that day one?
Well, it's very simple. If you look at your electric bill, 30% of your payment goes for energy, only 30%. The rest go for taxes, excessive delivery costs, and the green energy scam. So on day one, there's no more green energy scam. Number two, in the upcoming budget, I will be trying to cut the taxes, and it will be a negotiation process with the legislature. And on top of that, the excessive delivery fees, that's a hidden cost.
Blakeman also supports reversing the ban on fracking and tapping into the Marcellus shale reserves in the southern tier. But I asked him about an expansion of another energy source that, for one reason or another, no one in government has brought up: the mighty Niagara River. If you were governor, would you direct NYPA to expand the Niagara Power Project?
Yeah, listen, I think hydro is clean energy. I think it's good energy. I think geo is something. But one of the things that is going to be the cornerstone of my government when I get into office is that we are going to work with local people and local government to see what they want.
As for a ban on data centers?
No, I would not have a moratorium, but I would leave it up to local municipalities.
What about universal child care, which has made the rounds in Albany recently?
I support tax credits for working people who need child care for their kids, not for some lazy who's going to sit on the couch and send their kids off to daycare so they can watch The View or cartoons. That ain't happening with me as governor.
Universal health care and the New York Health Act?
The New York Health Act has to be re-looked at. Look, I have a whole healthcare team that is looking at that and looking at healthcare. We've got to look at our whole healthcare system and how we can make it more affordable, but increase the quality. And I suspect that just like Minneapolis and just like California, there's a tremendous amount of fraud, waste, and abuse in healthcare.
On bail reform, Blakeman says the whole law needs to be revamped.
You don't want a kid that's been arrested for stealing a backpack to sit in jail for 2 years. I agree with Democrats on that, but there's a way to do it. Maybe a review process every 10 days with a judge. If someone's held on bail, they've got to review that bail process to make sure that that person was held for the right reasons.
On some local issues, one of my favorite topics, the Kensington Expressway. Should the parkway be restored, or should some version of the revamped tunnel project move forward?
I'm with the residents. First of all, it's very, very costly. That's number one. Number two, the residents don't want it. Number three, it's going to create traffic problems around Buffalo. I think it's a really bad idea. And by the way, if the state is going to invest that kind of money, let's invest it in Buffalo, in creating jobs and prosperity and creating housing in downtown Buffalo.
Now, that's certainly a lot to jam into 3 minutes. My full 20-plus minute conversation with Republican gubernatorial candidate Bruce Blakeman will air this Friday night on the agenda on WGRZ Plus at 9 p.m. Now, I did reach out to Governor Hochul's campaign to arrange a one-on-one sit-down with her for equal time, but their campaign has not yet responded to my request. On your side in downtown Buffalo, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.